Hey Canucks fans, are the Canucks looking for suitors for Tanner Pearson and Jason Dickinson? I'm Canuck Clay. This is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Thursday, June the 9th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Don't forget, live stream tonight at 10:30. I'm supposed to be golfing today. I'm not sure if it's going to go through, but regardless, I gave myself a bit of extra time, so hope you join me. Different day, different time, but 10:30 tonight for my live stream. If I don't golf, I'll bump it back up to 10, but I'll give everyone plenty of notice. But regardless, join me sometime tonight right here on YouTube to talk Canucks, to talk NHL playoffs, and whatever else you want to talk about. Today, I want to talk about trade targets. Frank Saravalli, formerly of TSN, now running his own outfit, Daily Faceoff, he published a brand new trade targets article this morning. 25 players who are potentially targets of trades from other teams, and 3 Canucks players appear on the list, albeit in 2 spots, and I'll tell you what I mean. JT Miller appears 4th on the list, behind guys like, I think Jacob Chikrin's above him, I think Fiala's above him, and there's someone else above him. But yes, JT Miller is number 4 on that list. And Tanner Pearson and Jason Dickinson together are listed at number 18. So I guess there's 26 players on the list. I think there's actually a couple other ties. Regardless, the Canucks have 3 players on this top 25 list by Frank Saravalli. JT Miller, we've talked about a lot. I seem to be talking about him a lot because everyone's talking about him. We know his situation. He's got 1 year left on his contract, a great contract, $5.25 million. And the Canucks can talk extension with him starting July the 1st. We've talked about pros and cons, of course, waiting, doing something now. So I don't have to go into too much here, but just know that $5.25 million, that's a steal. He's one of the top 10 players, points per game in the past 3 seasons, ever since he's come to Vancouver. He had 99 points in 80 games last season. So overall, the man's going to get paid. We know that. We talked about that yesterday. So will the Canucks look to move him as opposed to try to re-sign him? We'll know a lot more in the next few weeks. I want to talk about the other 2 guys that are listed together, buddies, at number 18. Tanner Pearson and Jason Dickinson. Tanner Pearson, 29 years old, same age as JT Miller, had a pretty good season, I think, as almost like a Swiss Army knife. You could play him in the top line if you had to, second line or third line, where he's probably most suited. He had 34 points in 68 games. 34 and 68. So again, that's exactly 0.5 points per game. And some would say at $3.2 million, that was a good value. That's a good value. It's certainly not bad value for what he did this past season. So he has 2 more years left on a deal that pays him $3.2 million for each of those 2 years. Contrast that to Jason Dickinson, who also has 2 more years left. Remember, he came over last summer on a 3-year deal. $2.65 million, so not 3.2, but $2.65 million per season. But he only had, I think, 11 points in 62 games. 11 points in 62 games. Contrast that to Tanner Pearson, who had 34 points in 68 games. Now, granted, Pearson got more power play time, got more, second line time. But I think we'd all agree that Jason Dickinson's year was a bit of a disappointment. We wanted him to be, he was touted as kind of like a defensive stopper, and it didn't go so well. Well, no one played really good defense in the first couple of months of the season. And then offensively, he wasn't brought in for offense, but you'd expect more than 11 points in 62 games. And again, he's at 2.65 over the next 2 seasons. So why are Pearson, especially if he's outplaying his contract, and Dickinson, who's been a disappointment, why are they listed in Frank Saravalli's trade targets list? If the Canucks want to make a big move, a big splash in free agency, or change the makeup of their team, whether or not that includes getting someone from free agency, they're going to have to find creative ways to move money. And of course, there's the Besser, Miller, and Horvat contracts and contract extensions that are looming. There are guys like Ekman Larsson who are probably unmovable. Tyler Myers, even some would say, some debate whether or not he's movable. You don't want to move guys like Hughes, Pettersson, Hoglander, Podkolzin, obviously. So then I've always said this, you look at the middle, the mushy middle, as some would say. Guys that don't have massive contracts, but guys that still the contracts are significant enough to make a dent. And I would also add Tucker Poolman into that category at $2.5 million per season for 3 more years. So yeah, Pearson at 2 years, 3.2 each. Dickinson at 2 more years at 2.65 each, and then Poolman at 3 more years at 2.5 each. But I'm not going to talk about Poolman because he wasn't on Sierra Valley's trade list, and we don't know about his health issues because of concussions. So going back to Pearson and Dickinson, both top 9 wingers, and with Pearson, we know that he played for Pittsburgh. He played for Jim Rutherford, Pittsburgh. He didn't play for Rutherford. He played for Pittsburgh while Rutherford was the GM, and Rutherford traded him. Rutherford traded him away from Pittsburgh, and so he's already traded him once. Is I guess my main point. I think he traded him to the Canucks. Actually, I think about it. Is that when we sent Goodbranson to Pittsburgh for Tanner Pearson? So yes, Rutherford has traded Pearson once, and some would say maybe that's because he's not Rutherford's type of forward. Rutherford likes speed, likes skill, likes aggressiveness. Pearson, skilled for sure, got good hands, but not a lot of speed, but a lot of intangibles like leadership and low maintenance and all those things. I've talked about how much I do like Tanner Pearson. In fact, when I'm in the roller hockey arena, I kind of look like Tanner Pearson. I got the broad shoulders with the shoulder pads. I'm not the best skater, but my hands are okay. Actually, maybe that's where the comparison's in. For Jason Dickinson, though, I think he's been a disappointment. And if you can move off of that contract, I think you should, because you can find other players to do what he was brought in to do. And the biggest key here is, you guys, both Pearson and Dickinson, well, everyone, because Rutherford and Alvin are so new, they were brought in by Benning. They were signed by Benning. So much like most of the players, Rutherford had nothing to do with acquiring them. So his loyalty wouldn't be as deep. Again, you move Pearson, you move Dickinson too, you're basically freeing up $6 million. So you can find a free agent or that could go to paying like a Philip Forsberg, for instance, and maybe Forsberg single-handedly makes up for those two, the production of those two, and then you free up another hole in the lineup for someone who's cheaper on $900,000 contract as opposed to $3 million. So those are the kind of things that the Canucks will be exploring. Again, trading some of these middle of the roster type guys, so they can free up some money, so they can make a bigger splash in free agency. So I'd love to know, Canucks fans, let's not focus on JT Miller. We always do that. Let's focus on Tanner Pearson and Jason Dickinson. Could you see either of those guys move? Would you want either of those guys move? Let me know in the comments below. Shout out to my sponsors, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss, and to Van City Experts Real Estate Group, Jason Lim and his team. Shout out to my legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, and Hall of Fame members Jens95, Sam Alexander, Chris Seifert, Adam Brewfield, Shannon Hollingworth, HSM Fangirl Gaming, Smooth Groove, and Carol Bovenlander. Thank you for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members at all levels. You are listening to my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or my videos, or the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. By the way, I scored a goal last night in my roller hockey game. It was a nice goal, actually, a short side. Had a chance to score another, tied up late, but we end up losing 3-2. So maybe I'll start to do more roller hockey updates, although I'm missing the next 4 games because I'll be in Sweden over the next couple weeks, as you know. I leave a week from today. If you made it this far, almost 9 minutes into the video, because I'm eating sushi for lunch now, I'm going to go eat some sushi. Sushi, S-U-S-H-I. Type that all caps, and then I know you made it all the way to the end of this video. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Leave me a tip, a super thanks if you'd like to support the channel. Leave a, become a member or upgrade if you'd like to, and leave a comment down below about the futures of Tanner Pearson and Jason Dickinson in your eyes. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Hopefully I see you tonight at 10:30 p.m. for my live stream. God bless, and go Canucks go.